Hi. Can you believe our new manager, Bob, is making us stay late again? I know, to do his work. I can't believe they promoted him. Me either. He's so incompetent. Oh, there goes another message from him now. Wonder what he needs this time. Probably can't figure out which bar to get wasted at for happy hour. Let's see. Staff meeting, 8 a.m., conference room. 8:01 is late. He included the night janitorial staff. What a dumbass. He hasn't figured out that CC thing. 8 a.m.? I won't get home till midnight doing this extra shit. He better not let me catch him in the parking lot by himself. I'm gonna kick his ass. Boss or no boss. You didn't think that was funny? What? You're gonna kick my ass? Just kidding, Bob. Wanted to see what your reaction would be. JK. Oh.
Hey guys, welcome back to ADHD is the New Black. I'm Stacey Michelle. Before Issa Rae made my quirks more mainstream and acceptable and profitable for her, you go girl. I was the black girl who came away from interactions with other people on the regular going, what did I do? Was it something I said? When I was a little girl, I was teased on the daily because of my lazy eye. Who you looking at? Who you looking at? I'm over here, but you looking over there. Oh, y'all, Stacey's eyes so crooked, she can see people behind her without turning around. Getting teased for something I had no control over made me feel rejected, ashamed, and embarrassed every day. But my eye's been fixed a long time now. I'm relatively attractive. I'm sexy and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it. I'm educated, I'm resilient, I'm a problem solver, and I go for it, whatever it is that day. But no matter how many times I've reinvented myself with new careers, new cities, new social circles, when it came to interpersonal relations, I was experiencing the same level of rejection minus the Stacey, your eye wouldn't be so lazy if it had a job. One of my core values for this channel is to be honestly unfiltered with you about my own battles managing ADHD. So I'll overshare with you this. Small talk, chatting with new people one-on-one, attending networking events, those things are kryptonite to me. You meet somebody at a networking party, in 3 minutes you're telling them your whole life story. They didn't ask, but it's important for context. They don't care to the people you call mom and dad or your grandparents because they adopted you when you were a baby, and that makes your aunts and uncles your sisters and brothers. Context. They're getting glassy-eyed, but you don't notice. Your brain's wiring isn't letting you notice their non-verbal signals. And just as you're getting to the good part, that makes my birth mother my sister too. They cut you off? I don't mean to cut you off. They do. But a seat just opened up on the SpaceX rocket and I have to go now. Then 2 minutes later, you see that person at the open bar across the room laughing with 3 other people and they may or may not be trying to avoid eye contact with you. Also, 4 seats available now on SpaceX? You couldn't save a sister one? We're not exactly wired to see how others react to us. ADHD was affecting my social filter. As in, I didn't have one. Years of studying ADHD shows that those of us with the condition often experience social difficulties, social rejection, and interpersonal relationship problems as a result of our inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. Come on. In her book, What Does Everybody Else Know That I Don't? Social Skills Help for Adults with ADHD. Dr. Michelle Novotny explains that we all learn social skills from a very young age through a circuit of observing, copying, and practicing behavior, receiving feedback on that behavior, and modifying that behavior based on that feedback. But children with ADHD often miss certain details within that circuit. A 2016 study in the UK compared play between kids with and without ADHD, both boys and girls. All the ADHD kids had trouble sharing and cooperating with others during play.
Don't be selfish.
They also had difficulty taking the perspective of other kids and they showed problems responding to social cues. And they were found to be more self-focused when they were negotiating with the other kids.
Everything is about me.
It's no wonder then that 56% of children with ADHD have no reciprocated friendships. That's almost twice the number of neurotypical kids without friends. 56% of kids with ADHD have no reciprocated friends. As ADHD kids grow into adults, we might actually manage to pick up pieces of the observing, copying, and the practicing feedback loop, but a lot of us pick them up the hard way, like being told we're weird in the way we communicate, or being isolated, or being told that something about us is off in the way we speak to people. Okay, we're not the best at playing by the rules of social behavior, but
what are the rules?
the rules are the unwritten but generally agreed upon set of behaviors that won't cause other people to go, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Who writes these rules? White people? Kidding. Not really. It's complicated because it depends on who you're around. Sisters, you know, when we're with family, we can be loud and interrupt each other. Nobody listens. It's great. You can be your ADHD self around people who know you and love you. Not just Stacy. She's the goofy one in the family. Glad she got that lazy eye fixed. At least I hope that's your experience with family. But out in the real world, the rule book is nuanced. Being a Black woman or a woman of color adds an extra layer of assumptions about us. Most of us already engage in code switching. Now think of the added layer of code switching we do just to hide our ADHD symptoms. From our bosses and coworkers, like some of us are terrible at attention to details. We drown in paperwork. We get overwhelmed easily. How much we struggle to get to work on time. Or making the mistake of being too familiar with coworkers who don't quite get us.
That makes my birth mother my sister too.
Unmanaged ADHD might be robbing us of the desired respect, status, or connections we desire.
Well, if I'm being too chatty or too blunt or too loud, why doesn't someone just tell me?
The frustrating thing about these social rules, they're unwritten, and everyone assumes that everyone else knows the rules. And one of those rules, it's impolite to tell anyone, especially the only Black or brown girl at the networking event, that our blunt or big or extra way of expressing ourselves might be off-putting in mixed company. White people, but calling us loud and rude behind our backs, that's perfectly fine. Them's the rules. As adults with ADHD, we may say and do impulsive things that don't just hurt our standings with others, it might even hurt others' feelings. If you don't have ADHD and you're watching this out of curiosity or for someone you care about, consider this. A lot of times we ADHDers may not even realize that we've hurt some feelings. We may not realize at first what damage we might have caused by being blunt or forgetting appointments or any other perceived offenses thanks to our ADHD challenges. My Black and brown sisters, the best we can do is take responsibility for our words and actions and offer earnest apologies when necessary, even if you don't feel they're necessary sometimes.
Well, if something I say offends them, that's their problem.
It kind of is, but it's kind of our problem too, especially if we're burning bridges, ruining relationships, losing friends, and not getting what we want out of life. Whether others forgive us or offer us grace, that's their choice. But at least we've done the right thing and we've demonstrated that we are trying to be the very best versions of ourselves. So in part 2 of this social skills series, we'll talk about 5 most common social challenges of ADHD and how we get better at them. Hey guys, that's it. I'm Stacey Michelle. Do me a favor, be sure to hit subscribe and tell all your flaky Black friends to tune into this channel. Yeah, I said flaky, I'm flaky too, whatever.
He said, why don't you tell your lazy eye to get a job? Stacey, I'm so lazy because it ain't got, Stacey, your eye lazy because it ain't got a job. Yeah, a job. He said, why don't you get your lazy eye? Yo, I wouldn't be so lazy if I had a job.